Hi, I'm back again. I wanted to talk to you about a trespasser we had. I've lived out here for 20 years and we've not had but one old guy try to sell us aerial pictures of our property. I was home that day and I was basically cooking, making my dog food, burning trash, and all the dogs got to barking and I went to the back door and for some reason, the bells, my spidey senses were going off, I guess. The dogs are barking and I saw that there was a guy standing here. Normally I look at the driveway. I did not this time. He had like brown on and I think in the back of my mind I thought he was a UPS guy. And I cracked the door open about 3 or 4 inches and I kept the dogs back with my foot. But they weren't barking their normal bark. They were a little more stressed or excited. And this guy holds up his hand and he says, I think I broke my hand last week and I'm pretty sure I did. But his eyes were watery and he had the demeanor of he had been in an accident. He was just a little wound up. And the more he talked, the more uneasy I felt. The hand was twice the size of what it should have been. The other hand was bright red like it had been in hot water. And anyhow, he wanted to use my phone. He says, I'm from Minnesota. I need to call my girlfriend to come get me. Well, that's a heck of a long drive, and he would have had a long wait. That particular day, it wasn't too bad out, but they were predicting a really bad storm coming in that night. And I shut the door, I held up a finger, pointed to my phone, I shut the big door, locked it, went in the hallway so I could hear them on the phone, called the deputy sheriff's department, and explained, I've got this guy at my door, he's just acting a little strange, and could you send somebody out? And I went to the door and the guy was gone. I couldn't see him. Now, I'm going to show you down my long driveway. Can you see the end of the road? In just a few seconds, that man was gone. The police came in. I had 3 police officers come and a state trooper. And they did not see him on the road. They tell me there was a semi that was stopped down the gravel road and somebody had already called. So they're driving up and down the road. They went down and checked the truck. They said it was locked up like Fort Knox, but the cab was like a hoarder's house. And it was just uneasy. It's a little chilly out here. It's nicer than it has been, though. This is to the north. This is to the south. So the state trooper, everybody leaves, and the state trooper comes back, and he asks me, do you remember what he was wearing? Because with all the stress and stuff, it's like, I don't remember what he's wearing. And while I was doing dishes, it's like, oh yeah, it was brown. It just wasn't the right color brown because I thought he was UPS. And I normally look at the driveway first, and I didn't. That was something else. I looked at the driveway while that guy was standing at the door, and I said, where's your car? He says, that's a long story. Okay, we're out in the middle of nowhere. How'd you get here? So, back to the state trooper. He says, we're going to be sending a plane over to look for this guy. And I'm thinking, this is just crazy. A nervous woman calls. I've got 3 unmarked cop cars and a state trooper, and now planes flying over top? Something's not right. So I hear nothing back, and I call up to the sheriff's department, and they said, oh, the guy in the grain truck, they caught him in the next county. Well, it would have been nice if you called me. Next county's only a few miles down the road. So I go to work. I have to go to work to find out anything. So one of the girls I work with said that they called his employer. He had a history of mental illness, drug abuse, and physical abuse, but he had been okay for several years and had worked for this gentleman for several years. And they had been trying to get a hold of him and couldn't find him. So, you know, the nurse part in me was thinking, it's going to be snowing tonight. This guy has got no car. He's probably got a broken hand. And I did feel kind of bad because as a nurse, you want to take care of everybody. But after working in the prison for 10 years, I was just getting that something's not right feeling, and I needed to keep myself safe. These instances, we need to take care of ourselves and protect ourselves. My husband was home. He had worked 28 hours in 2 days, and I didn't want to wake him up. And anyhow, it was just crazy. Hopefully we don't have that ever happen again. But if it does, I'm hoping I'm a little better about not opening that door and stepping outside. I didn't this time. I normally do. And I'll be back in a few weeks. Be sure and like, subscribe, and share.